Morning. Just a little short video in this foggy morning breakdown, one can just say. Well, it's one of those days again when the fog is so hard that and heavy you can't see 100 yards or 50 yards or try to see any reflective colors. Would be quite a challenge if one is not close on them, because the camera makes everything looks brighter than it is. So it's quite heavy. It's very heavy out today, and traffic has been very calm due to that, because it's so easy that things can happen. And there has been accidents in the round drive due to that earlier, and similar things, because when the bushes in the middle get so high that you can't see quite good around it, then it's not a joke driving around there. It can be quite mean, but it's not so bad as other areas away from here. Yesterday the emergency services had a training exercise in the tunnel out here. The tunnel is the only communication line if you don't have a boat. So they had a fire maneuver, and they set ablaze a old car and a truck tire filled hangar, filled to the brim. So the whole tunnel was closed for about 3 hours, but it was after rush, so it went okay. There has been talks about putting up the ferries again that was here for many years until the tunnel opened way before my time here. The ferries that was there was just sold abroad, so they are around somewhere. They didn't think up a contingency plan back then. They thought that, hey, the tunnels to the mainland is open and open now, so we don't need any other. And then in the election fight that was a few years ago, the then mayor claimed that we could use the other ferries to get people off the island, and in a pinch we could borrow a cruise ship from one of the arriving tourist ships also. Yeah, how the hell are you going to get a cruise ship into these ports? And those ports are on the maximum line for the ferries also. Plus those ferries are the ones that goes to Denmark, and that would be reducing that kind of communication also. So if something happens with the tunnel, it's close to 4,000 people that would be trying not to create havoc and panic in the shop aisles. But that's just how life goes. Some people don't think through it, or they are using money and their wits on all other things than what they should be doing. Like the son of Otto von Bismarck said, every politician should be working so hard, dedicated and honestly and feverishly for his benefactors, that means the public, his voters, and do so every day in fear of losing his job the very next day. That's something that some people perhaps should have taken a nod to. But it would have been a very high change and turnover in the offices. They wouldn't be sitting there and gobbling weeks and months and decades and don't know where they are or what they are in the end. It would have been a very quick competitive business, and it wouldn't have been a business either. It would have been those that are born for that trade. They would have been quite good in it. And well, as I remember, the U.S. Constitution wasn't the presidents there 1 year each to begin with before it became 4. It could have been very something interesting. The prime minister, he sits only 1 year or 2 years. The votes in an election, well, that's another bit, but if that had been a different system, it would have been quite different turnover. But that's just the way it goes in the foggy mountain, the foggy flat hills, since it's quite a few miles until the mountains. But the railroad, which flies through those foggy mountains, ain't that far away. Well, cheerio.